The Civil War's continuation visual, footage of historical images from Nepal's civil war, with people protesting, army presence, and military equipment. One major concern for those who believe the monarchy could have led to a more prosperous Nepal is the continuation of the civil war. The violence between the monarchy and Maoist forces during the 1990s and early 2000s left deep scars in the nation. Prior to the tragic assassination of King Birendra and his family, Nepal had already missed two crucial opportunities for peace. Visual, archival footage of King Birendra with his family. The Maoists, enraged by the killing of their cadres in Chintang, demanded a constituent assembly and a move towards a republic. While King Birendra himself might have been open to these changes, figures like Queen Aishwarya, Queen Mother Ratna, and King Gyanendra were staunch defenders of the old system. Visual, a picture of King Mahendra with his family, showing traditional royal values. This refusal to yield meant that the war would likely have continued even if the monarchy had remained intact, with a cost to Nepal's future that is hard to measure. The economic impact of war visual, footage of rural villages, abandoned houses, and crowded cities. Another negative impact of continuing the monarchy and the civil war would be the mounting expenses. Visual, a stack of military equipment, soldiers in action, and images of rural Nepal. The cost of purchasing weapons and sustaining an ongoing war effort would have made Nepal even poorer. Most villages could have faced abandonment, and cities would have experienced more strain with growing populations. Visual, crowded urban streets, showing people pushing through crowded markets. The influx of displaced individuals would have likely led to greater competition for resources, creating fear and resentment among local populations. The cities, already under pressure, would become unsafe, further destabilizing the country. Oppression under the monarchy visual, old black and white images of protests, censorship, and Nepali citizens in fear. Under the monarchy, freedom of expression was severely restricted. People lived in an illusion of security, but it was one controlled by the government. Visual, news headlines showing censorship and protests from the 1990s. We were only told what the government wanted us to know. Speaking against the monarchy, the royal family, or the government itself could lead to dire consequences. This created an environment where dissent was not tolerated. But when the monarchy ended, things began to change. Visual, people participating in public discussions, celebrating festivals, and expressing themselves freely. Cultures and regions once suppressed flourished. Many festivals and languages that were previously stifled became mainstream, and the diversity of Nepalese society began to shine. The corruption problem visual, footage of government buildings and high-ranking officials. One area where both the monarchy and the republic failed to bring lasting change is corruption. While the monarchy was notorious for its ties to corruption, the system didn't change after its fall. Visual, images of the royal family in lavish settings, juxtaposed with impoverished villages. The rich and powerful, those close to the monarchy, prospered faster than the rest of the population. Even after the monarchy ended, corruption remained widespread in Nepal's political system. Visual, political leaders in suits, with images of bribery and scandal splashed across the media. So, the question remains, would the monarchy's presence have prevented corruption, or did it only serve to enable it? The positives of the monarchy visual, a serene temple or cultural symbol of Nepal, followed by images of national unity events. Despite the negatives, there were certain aspects of the monarchy that many Nepali people still hold dear. One of them is Nepal's identity as a Hindu nation. Visual, religious ceremonies, people praying, and symbols of Hindu culture. Nepal's status as a Hindu kingdom was unique in the world. It wasn't about opposing other religions but about celebrating the deep-rooted spiritual heritage of the nation. The monarchy provided a sense of unity, representing the faith that bound millions of Nepalis together. National integrity and unity visual, the king at official ceremonies, with the Nepali flag waving in the background. Narrator, voiceover, the monarchy was a symbol of national integrity. The king was seen as the guardian of Nepal, standing for unity and peace. Visual, crowds at national celebrations, showing the public's reverence for the king. In today's republic, many believe that such a unifying figure is sorely lacking. The absence of the monarchy has left a gap in leadership, and the political leaders have yet to establish the same level of trust and credibility with the people. The call for stable leadership visual, footage of political rallies and protests, with chaotic scenes of unrest. Stability under the monarchy was not perfect, but it gave people confidence that the king would always be there to guide the nation. Visual, a solemn image of King Birendra during his reign. Today, we have the president, a position that is more symbolic than functional. Nepal's leadership seems less stable, with governments constantly changing and political parties fighting for power. Visual, news clips of political instability, changing governments, and lack of leadership. Discipline and democracy visual, Nepali citizens in chaotic public spaces, protests, and a lack of enforcement of laws. Democracy, though a blessing, has also brought chaos. The lack of discipline and disregard for laws has grown since the monarchy's fall. Visual, law enforcement ignoring protests and traffic violations. While the system of checks and balances exists, it's clear that without strong leadership, there's no one to hold the government accountable for its mistakes. The absence of monarchy has left many feeling uncertain about Nepal's future. Visual, a sunset view of the Himalayas, followed by images of Nepali people coming together to work towards a better future. In the end, the question of monarchy versus republic is complex. The monarchy provided unity, stability, and a sense of national identity, but it also perpetuated corruption and repression. The republic brought freedom, but also instability and challenges. Visual, a montage of people from all walks of life in Nepal working together. As Nepal continues to grow and evolve, it will be the efforts of its people that will truly shape its future. Whether monarchy or republic, the hope is that Nepal will find the balance that leads to lasting peace, prosperity, and unity. Visual, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts on the monarchy versus republic debate in Nepal.